points in this area.
Dr. Philippa Whitford.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I too would like to welcome the statement from the Secretary of State, and I welcome the establishment of medical examiners, which we've now had in Scotland since last year. So I too would ask why the delay of another 2 years before that comes on stream. As a doctor, it was always the thing that seemed obvious to me as what might have made a difference to shipment. All the other things that have been enacted, but actually someone reviewing deaths might have made that difference. I would not underestimate the importance of audit and learning from routine audit rather than just depending on whistleblowing. In Scotland, we had the Scottish Audit of Surgical Mortality in the 90s. The first thing it showed was people dying who had not had a sufficiently senior surgeon involved in their case. This was discussed with the profession and practice changed. Future years showed a consultant surgeon at the front line and a junior anaesthetist, and this changed. It identified the lack of high-dependency nursing units for the sickest patients. I would suggest that working with audit like that and working with the profession, as we've done, coming up now for 20 years, would have allowed an evolution of a stronger, safer 7-day emergency service. And I would again call on the Secretary of State to commit to looking at, if you like, a surgical approach. The things that are missing: access to scans, radiology, perhaps more senior review and senior involvement. This is not junior doctors, this is not blanket. And also we do need to look at the ratio of staff, and both Francis and other research has shown the importance of nursing staff. Staff who do not have a minute to stop and think will make mistakes, and they will not have time to report them. We need to make it easy. People do need to have time to minimise mistakes, and there has to be that culture. And I would make a final plea. The Secretary of State is offering more support to whistleblowers, but perhaps a review and reconciliation of those who've been badly treated in the past might give people more confidence that if they step up and report something significant, they will not be hung out to dry, as has been the case in the past.
Well, I would contrast the tone of her response, and I by no means agree with everything she says, but the tone of her response with the tone that we had from the Shadow Health Secretary, because I think she does make some very important points. If I take those points in order, on medical examiners, it is not the case that we have delayed it. Actually, in the last Parliament, we had pilots so that we could understand exactly how they would work. And actually, it is relevant to her other point about audit, which I completely agree. So one of the things that medical examiners will be able to do is look for unexpected or unexplained patterns in deaths. Obviously, the vast majority of deaths are routine, predictable, and expected. But they will be able to identify, looking at audit tools, where there are things to worry about. And that's why I think this will be a very important next step. With respect to whistleblowers, I will reflect on what she says. But what we're trying to do today is to eliminate the need for it ever to get to the point where someone has to become a whistleblower. What we want to do is to make sure that people are supported to speak out about mistakes they've seen, mistakes they've made, concerns they have, and be confident that they will be listened to. And the table that we're publishing today about the quality of reporting culture, a lot of the raw data that allows us to rank trusts on the quality of reporting data comes from the NHS staff survey that actually asks staff how valued they think they are, how safe and easy it is to raise concerns. So I think that's why it is a big step forward.